Ports never sleep, and neither does the power that keeps the global economy alive. If the lights go out in an office building, people complain. If the power drops in a shopping mall, stores close early. But if power fails on a ship, if electricity fails on a port, if voltage drops on an offshore rig, then everything stops. Cargo freezes, fuel transfers shut down, navigation systems go dark, millions of dollars start bleeding every single minute. And when that happens, there is one person everyone is looking for: the marine electrical technician. Today, I'm breaking down one of the rarest, highest paying, most overlooked skilled trades in America, a trade that combines saltwater electricity pressure and responsibility, a trade where companies are desperate for talent, a trade where pay ranges from $90,000 to $160,000 a year plus, and a trade you can get into without a college degree. Welcome to JV Charles TV. I'm your host, JV Charles, and on this channel we expose high-paying skilled trades and careers that do not require college. No student loan, no corporate ladder, and no pretending to look busy in a cubicle. These are real skills, real responsibility, real money. And today, we are talking about a job most people will never hear about, but the global economy depends on: marine electrical technician. Let me make something very clear right at the start. This is not a normal electrician job. This is not residential wiring, and this is not pulling Romex in a dry cleaning building. This is electricity in the harshest environment on Earth: saltwater, constant moisture, vibration, heat, confined spaces, and moving platforms. These are emergency situations a lot of the times. Saltwater and electricity do not like each other. Saltwater destroys metal. Saltwater eats insulation. It accelerates corrosion, and saltwater finds weakness fast. That is why this skill is rare. That is why this skill pays big. And that's why companies will fight to keep people who can do this work working all the time. A marine electrical technician services ships, ports, shipyards, offshore oil rigs, terminals, and maritime infrastructure. These are the people who keep power flowing on cargo ships, cruises, ships, military vessels, tankers, offshore drilling platforms, and major ports. And if you've ever seen a massive container ship, thousands of containers stacked like a floating city, millions, sometimes billions of dollars of cargo are on board. And every system of that ship runs on power, propulsion, navigation, communication, lighting, cooling, safety systems, and emergency backups. When one system fails, it is not just inconvenient, it is downright dangerous. Now imagine an offshore oil rig, miles from land, no easy evacuation, heavy equipment running non-stop. High voltage systems exposed to salt spray 24/7. If power fails out there, there is no calling someone else. There's no waiting until Monday, and there is no "I will deal with it later." This is where marine electrical technicians come in. This is a trade where mistakes are not tolerated because the consequences are massive, and that is exactly why the pay is massive. Now, let's talk about the skill itself. Marine electrical technicians work on generators, switchboards, transformers, propulsion systems, motor controls, lighting systems, emergency power systems, and navigation equipment. You are diagnosing faults, tracing voltage drops, replacing corroded components, testing systems under load, restoring power while the clock is ticking. This is a high responsibility electrical work, and it happens in environments most electricians never want to touch. That is why this is not flooded with applicants. That is why this is not oversaturated. This is why wages keep climbing. And most people avoid this work because it is uncomfortable. It's hot, it's loud, it's tight, and it smells like fuel and salt in machinery. But discomfort is where the money is. Now, let's talk about ports. Ports never sleep. Ships arrive around the clock, and cargo moves 24/7. Crane systems, dock power, ship connections, and fueling systems. Everything runs on electricity. If power fails at a port, cargo backs up. Schedules collapse, companies lose contracts, and penalties start stacking. So what do ports do? They pay for reliability, they pay for skill, and they pay for people who can fix problems fast. Marine electrical technicians are often on call, nights, weekends, holidays, and every hour worked outside normal schedule pays more. This is not a 9-to-5 job, this is a mission-critical job, and mission-critical jobs always pay big. Now, let's talk about the numbers for a minute. Marine electrical technicians regularly earn $90,000 a year on the low end, and $120,000 a year is more common. $140,000 to $160,000 is achievable with experienced offshore work, union roles, or contract assignments. And that money comes from base pay, overtime, hazard pay, travel pay, and per diem. Some technicians work rotational schedules, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off, meaning you can earn 6 figures while working half the year. Think about it, half the year off, no emails, no meetings, no Slack notifications, no fake productivity. Just work hard when you are on, and then you are done. Now, let's address the biggest myth. You do not need a college degree. There is no 4-year requirement. There is no debt trap, and there is no corporate HR filter. Most marine electrical technicians come from electrician apprenticeships, industrial electrical backgrounds, shipyard military service, especially Navy or Coast Guard, or maritime training programs. No college required. The key is electrical fundamentals, understanding voltage, current load, grounding, and safety and troubleshooting. Then you stack marine-specific knowledge on top, how systems behave in saltwater, how corrosion affects components, and how vibration impacts connections. And also learning knowledge on how emergency systems are designed. This is a skill-stacked trade. Electrical knowledge plus marine environment equals leverage every time, and leverage equals money, big time. Now, let me walk you through a realistic scenario. A container ship pulls into a port late at night. The crew reports intermediate power loss in one of the sections of the ship. Sensitive cargo on board. Refrigerated containers running off of ship power. Time is money. You board the ship, you inspect the systems, you isolate the fault, you find corroded terminals causing voltage drops, you replace components, test the system under load, and restore the full power. Cha-ching! The ship leaves on schedule. That repair might take a few hours, but the value of that repair is massive. You see, you're not paid for the time, you're paid for the responsibility. That is the difference between low-skill work and high-skill trades. Marine electrical technicians carry responsibility, and a lot of it. Now, let's talk about offshore rigs for a minute. Offshore rigs are some of the highest paying environments for this trade because the risk is higher, logistics are harder, and downtime is insanely expensive. Power failures offshore can shut down production entirely. That is millions of dollars per day in some cases. Companies will pay whatever it takes to keep power stable. This is why marine electrical technicians offshore can earn top pay quickly. And here's the most important part people sometimes miss. This job cannot be outsourced. It can't be automated, and it cannot be replaced by AI. Because AI cannot climb into an engine room. AI cannot troubleshoot corroded wiring, and AI cannot physically repair systems under pressure. This is real-world work, and the world still runs on it. Now, let's talk about who this trade is actually for. This trade is for people who like working with their hands, who want real responsibility, who want high pay without college, and who do not need constant praise. People that understand that important work often happens behind the scenes. This is not influencer work, this is not remote work, this is not passive income. This is a skill-based income, and skill-based income lasts. Now, let's talk about the future of this trade. The maritime industry is aging, skilled workers are retiring, and not enough young people are entering the field. At the same time, global trade continues to grow. Ports are expanding massively in America and around the world. Ships are getting larger and systems are getting more complex. That creates a labor gap. And when demand rises while supply shrinks, wages go up big time. Marine electrical technicians are becoming harder and harder to replace. They're more valuable and more respected. You see, companies know this. Ports know this. Offshore operators know this. That is why benefits improve, schedules improve, and the pay improves. Now, let me say this clearly. This is not easy work, it's not clean work, and it's not comfortable, but it's meaningful, and it's paid accordingly. If you want comfort, choose an office. If you want money, choose responsibility. Now imagine yourself in life 5 years from now with no student debt, a 6-figure income, skills that travel anywhere there is water, and options to work port side, offshore, or contract. And when you are off, you are actually off. No getting bugged by the boss, no emergency meetings, and no fake urgency. Just real rest and time off you can enjoy. That is what this trade offers. And the best part, most people will never apply because they are scared of the environment, because they underestimate themselves, because they chase easier paths, which leaves opportunity wide open. So if you are tired of low ceilings, if you are tired of jobs that do not matter, and if you want to build a skill that the world actually needs, marine electrical technician is one of the most underrated, high-paying skilled trades in America right now. Ports never sleep, ships never stop, and power must always flow. Drop a comment if this skilled trade surprised you. Subscribe to JV Charles TV for more real career breakdowns, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because while everyone is chasing trends, the money is still in skills. I'm JV. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching.